Hello everybody, RailFanner4459 here, or the San Carlos Railfan. In today's video, I want to talk about something I haven't really showcased that much, and that is my N-Scale collection. Now, I'm an HO scale guy. I love HO scale, and it's still my primary scale. However, recently I've been dabbling into the world of N-Scale, and so far, I have a decent amount. Now, I wanted to give you a quick heads up on where my N-Scale layout is. I have an HO scale layout, which is located in my living room. However, my N scale layout I don't really have that much room for. Even with the space in my HO scale layout, I can't put the N scale setup here, so it is currently on my bedroom floor. Deal with it. Anyways, I want to talk about my equipment. So for starters, I'm going to talk about my favorite piece in the collection, which is this. My Kato Southern Pacific 4445 in the post-war black. Can get a good shot of this. So, yeah. This is something I picked up for about $100 at a recent sale with the DCC chip. I installed it, however, I'm not going to be running this engine mainly because of that DCC chip being installed. It looks good, and yeah, it needs a lot of stuff updated, but I like this model, especially because I'm a huge fan of the GS class. I mean, I have a bunch of them, so it's a nice little model to have. Now let's get into the locomotives I will be running. Let's start out with probably the junky engines and move up to the higher end ones. Let's start up, this is probably my most junky engine out of them, which is this Bachmann Amtrak F unit. Now, this thing kind of sucks. It's really loud, and I could throw it at the wall and it still works. Barely any detail, and it's my lesser favorite of my F units, which I will show off soon. It does run, however, on my crappy Kato unit track circle. And short it out. Yep, it's not great by any means. I don't like this engine too much. I might sell it. I might keep it. I don't know, but for now, it's that junky engine which I can have, and it's just a joke. Literally a joke. And it's stuck in the tunnel. Alright. The next engine I wanted to showcase is this GP35. This is also a Bachmann, however, it's a little better. I want to give this a custom paint job. I don't really know what to do with it in a moment. And it has a very similar running quality to the F unit, however, I don't hate it as much. It's not the worst thing in the world, and it could definitely be used as something in the future. But overall, it's not great. Next up is a really weird one. And it's one that I kind of like, but it's also super dumb, and I don't like it at the same time. And that's this N-scale model of James the Red Engine. Now, before you go crazy, this was made from a Arnold 260 model. And it's currently just being reworked to look like the character, if it was done like an American style, similar to those Day Out with Thomas events. This model I heavily was inspired by Leviathan York with his N-scale model of James, so just giving him credit. It's a pretty okay runner. I wouldn't say it's too crazy, but I wouldn't say it's that bad. Originally, this had a slope back tender, but it's being reworked to have this tender, as you can see here. It needs a lot of work, but it'd be a funny little joke engine to run every now and then. Next up is a model I picked up just recently, and it's worth a lot, and it's not really that crazy. And you did just see it. It's my Bachmann Jupiter. This guy is small. I've had two of these. So this is my newer Jupiter, which I got. However, I also got another Jupiter. This was included with a bunch of cars, which I will show off in a bit. This is that Jupiter. It's completely junked. I plan to cosmetically fix it up and maybe turn it into something like the Virginian Truckee Genoa. Maybe just have them double head or something like that, because that would be cool. But I don't know. For now, 1440 is junk, the other one is good. I swapped the driving wheels on this one with the ones from the first 440. Mainly because the drivers on the new 440 first looked like this, and this is too orange. It's supposed to be a dark red. Either way, since the second 440 is being repainted, I figured it wouldn't be too bad swapping the wheels, so it has the wheels for the second one. Everything else is from the first one. I gave this some lubrication, and it's not the greatest runner, but for one of these old 440s that I've seen, it's not the worst thing in the world. And while we're talking about the 440, let's talk about those cars that I got. So, yeah. For starters, we have the box car. Oh my. It's a pretty neat little piece, and it does its job. Looks like a box car, and works like a box car. It's not the greatest piece in the world, but hey, it had metal wheels, so I guess it's good. Next up, we have one that's kind of weird. Next up is the tank car. The tank car, again, it does its thing, and it works like that. So, it's kind of weird. This is how tank cars looked like in the 1800s. It's very interesting, to say the least. Next up is a little more reasonable. Next up is the gondola / flat car. I still don't really know what this thing is, but it's probably one of the nicer pieces along with the box car. It's a nice little piece that I can use with the Jupiter. And finally is the bobber caboose. It has a chunk taken out of it for some reason. But this is my little old-time set, and the Jupiter somehow doesn't like pulling it. This is at 75% speed. This guy really doesn't like pulling anything, so usually I have to run it with 1 or 2 cars. Anyhow, let's get into my next engine. Probably my second highest quality locomotive is one that is severely hindered, and I wish this engine would run operationally perfect, but it just doesn't. But still, it was a steal, so I did want to showcase it, and it's an engine class which is very, very special to me. Next up is the Union Pacific Challenger. Let me just re-rail it. This is made by Concor and was a Rivarossi, Italy import. It's so big I struggle to even get it on the tracks, but it runs pretty bad, I gotta say. Now, this engine I picked up for $25 at a recent N-Scale sale. And I gotta admit, I like this engine. I love this more than I should. It's really weird. This was a Rio Grande Challenger, but I love it the way it is. It's a nice little engine to have, and I gotta admit, while it isn't the greatest runner, it's a good-looking cosmetic display. It definitely needs some work on the drivers. And lastly, besides the GS4, here are my 2 highest quality engines. Really one, they're part of a set. Well, let's talk about these. My most high quality engines are my Kato F units. This is the F7A, and we could just get him on the layout. And if we just get him on the layout, the F7B. These guys have really finicky couplers, but yeah, here's my F7 set. These are both Kato units, which I got for 65 bucks a piece, which I think is a fair deal. The F7A has upgraded lighting, and both have DCC decoders, although both are Digitrax, so I'm fine with running them on DC. The F7, however, randomly crapped out on me. I don't know why. It needs work, but these are a splendid-looking set of engines, and these really came in clutch, especially because recently, a bunch of members got suspended at my club, so I've been one of the only people running on the N-Scale layout. So it's fun to break in these guys for a couple hours of laps, but they are definitely my most reliable N-Scale engines. They run very smooth, and they're just amazing lookers. So I hope you enjoyed looking at my N-Scale trains. I have a lot more which I want to expand on. I want to use that second 440. I want to upgrade 4445 with new decoders. And I want to just upgrade almost every engine in my collection to be better. So, yeah. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching.